Good morning, kids. How are you? I feel like it's been forever. Has it been forever? It feels that way. It's good to see you. Let's wait for people to come in. I haven't been on in like a couple of weeks. Oh, hi, Kaden. I can see you. Hi, Kay. Um, I was on Parawomen Radio last Saturday and but I didn't do my Sunday live. Uh why? Because it was the hey, little brother. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. It was the holiday week and there was so much to do. And so I took the week off. Oh, hey, mama. That's Kay, by the way. He's on his tablet in the other room. He's like, if you see mom. Yes, Nikki in the house. Um, yeah, that's Kay. So we took the Kaden. Hi, Colleen. How are you? It's good to see you. How was everybody's holiday? Did everyone make it? Hi, Brainy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Did everyone make it through the holiday unscathed? Because it was a great day. I did much of nothing all of Sunday, but like put together toys and play board games and shoots and ladders, which I hadn't played in a dog's age. Okay. Yeah, thank God it's over. I feel you. I've already taken Christmas down. I was on top of it. Oh, hey, Bruce. Merry belated Christmas. I don't know how you say that. Um, Yeah, I took all of Christmas down. The trees down, all the things, okay? All the things are down. I took all of it down. Not that like I love Christmas, right? But like once Christmas Day hits, I'm ready for it to be over because I start so early. Hey, Jay Warren, it's good to see you. It's bad luck. What's bad luck? Kaden, I know where you live, mom. Do you see him? My own son is trolling me. Um, I mean, I usually I like to keep it up past the first, but it seemed right because I have a kitten and she has done more damage to that poor tree and the ornaments and everything. I was ready to not have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to lift the tree off the floor. I think that's really where it comes from. Um, taking down I know. I usually it's like the first, right? After New Year's, but this year I was ready. I was so ready. I was so ready not to have to pick or like broken ornaments. Do you know how many broken ornaments we had this year? And like Hobby Lobby, who's owned by Mormons, um, Hobby Lobby says they're not breakable. Zoe said, "Hold my beer." My cat said, "Hold my beer." I bet they are they do shatter, and they do. I was the Grinch this year so far. No tree, but like, oh, see, I love the lights. Like, I love going for like random drives at night just to see what people put out in their lawn. And like, actually, my town in Massachusetts, um, does like a competition, and some houses look like the Griswolds. It's pretty cool. Good morning, Christine. It's good to see you, Mama. Send me a link. I'll come up with you. Okay. And actually, I hold on. Let's see here. What am I doing? Let me see. My phone's dead, so I'm gonna send it through here. Um, I will send it. I had someone tell me how to stop the tree from falling down, get some weighted wire. Oh, that's smart. Actually, it's funny you say that. My neighbor upstairs, who has a bunch of cats, she was like, you should like suspend it to the wall. And I was just like, well, we're in so deep at this point, you know? We were in so deep and there were so many altercations in the middle of the night. And so I just, it was hard. It was anyway, it was good holiday. I got to see my family. I took the little guy to Disney on Ice, which is super fun. That was really good. We went last weekend, which was absolutely awesome. So How was you guys? Do you guys have a good holiday? I know our friend Colleen said she was the Grinch this year. I mean, I get it with the no tree though, you know. If I didn't have Kung Fu Panda, that might be my that might be no problem. That might be my my way to go. Hold on one second. Um so all right. Where were we with JonBenet Ramsey? So we are going to be going over part 3 of Frank Zell's interview with True Crime Garage TV. There's part 3, and I believe Nikki is going to come up with me. But first, because in the same vein of just ridiculousness, okay, ridiculous behavior, I was listening to hella excited utterance this morning. And oh, hey baby, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. I was listening to hella excited utterance this morning. And apparently she's been covering it's a duo, I believe. They've been covering the Lar Matthias, John Matthias, Gray Bay situation. Okay. And yeah, hold on one second. Sorry. Over the holidays, oh, who doesn't like butter? I mean, oh, that's right. And your brother Jim. I apologize. That's right. They're brothers, Jim and Frank Zell. They have been going over. This is their interview with True Crime Garage TV. That we're going to be going over today. It's been weeks since we've done this, and I don't feel like we need a recap, other than they've been peeling back the onion of what's going on in Boulder, Colorado, and it is just a breeding field of pedophilia. It's gross, okay? And it goes way deeper than JonBenet. It goes way deeper than the Ramseys themselves, okay? It goes way deeper. And we had the honor of having Frank on with us a couple of weeks ago. I think that was Hate Making. It's good to see you, Patrick. We had Frank on with us, and we got to talk to him and ask some questions, which was absolutely amazing. You can follow him on X. Actually, I follow him on X. I've reposted. If you guys have me over there, definitely go and give Frank a follow. He is a wealth of knowledge with the Ramsey case. Okay. He has been investigating this for 29 years since it happened, and he has unraveled Boulder, Colorado, in the corruption. That's what it all comes down to, right? Corruption. It doesn't matter who wants to help you. This is the reason victims don't come forward. And actually, as I was getting to with Lar Matthias and John Matthias, you know, John, Nikki, hold on one second. Yeah. 1 second here. I'm going to copy this and send it over to you, baby. We're going to go over, before we start with the True Crime Garage TV in third part interview with Jim and Frank Zell, we're going to go over something that the Matthiases have been exposed. I'm all about exposure, right? If you want to expose people, do it the right way, okay? John claims to be a victim's advocate, and he is a clinical psychologist and all of these things, but it looks like him and his wife are the exact same, okay? Their integrity has a price. And hella excited utterance exposed John for being hired by the defense of a pedophile. And he wrote to, he did his testing or lack thereof, and the prosecution ripped him apart for his lack in trying to help a pedophile, a child abuser, get off. He was like, you should give this man a light sentence when he had multiple victims and physically hurt a 7-year-old family member. But John got hired by the defense. Clearly, there was a dollar sign attached. And this motherfucker was like, no, you should give him a light sentence. He won't reoffend. They all reoffend over and over and over. This man that he tried to get off, okay, that was in jail and had touched a 7-year-old family member. He was trying to get child pornography in jail. But he's fine. He's fine. Hidden True Crime has a dollar sign attached, and their integrity means nothing when there's money involved. Okay. Maybe we can introduce John and Dr. Mitchell. They would watch. Yeah. Oh my God. What's a Brad Pitt movie that he ages in reverse, Bruce? Do you remember that one? That was a good one. That was a good one. But this is the thing, like YouTubers and like the Brad Pitts of the world separate the artist from the problem. Oh, Nikki, your last name is on that. You might want to change, my love. Yeah. I can't separate the Matthiases because the thing is, this is the thing, right? Yes, Benjamin Buttons, double gun. This is the thing, right? So like as a YouTuber, I'm a very small YouTube creator. Okay. I just come on here. I don't monetize because I do a lot of children. I do a lot of child stories, and I don't feel like making money off of the tragic events in people's lives. I'll come on here and talk about it. Okay. Because I feel passionately about these things. But I have a day job. Like I'm not trying to make money off like I'm just not. Okay. And like, I have no aspirations of being some like huge YouTuber. Just don't. Okay. I mean, I'm not. Oh, hold on, babe. Oh, without further ado, we have Nikki. Oh God, hold on. Wait,
Hey.
Where are you? Hi, Mama.
Can you hear me? If you
Yeah.
saw, my last name was up there, so I jumped right down.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Oops, oopsie. Hey,
You might want to change that. Hey, Wayne.
Yeah, I did. I saw it pop up. I was like, shit. Gotta go.
I know.
Go,
I saw you go right out.
I did.
Right out with the quickness.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. So before we start with the True Crime Garage, which is going to be fascinating because I actually listened to it this morning before. This is like the first one I pre-listened
I'm not feeling great, so I'm here because I want to be, obviously. But
yeah,
I'm a little slow out of the gate. I just want to have that note. Okay.
I heard that what we won't talk about right now, but I heard that you had a good Christmas and you got some good Christmas gifts.
Yeah, it was nice. We went to Mom and Dad's, and yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so
I'm
good.
going to that on Wednesday. That'll be fun.
So much fun. He's so funny.
I know.
So this morning, you obviously the Hidden True Crime bullshit, right?
I do. Yeah.
Right. So this is kind of in like the same vein of Ramsey. And I say this only because like we've talked about this before, how there's like victims and victims don't come forward. And then there's assholes that are out there and then go and defend the pedophiles and try to get them like less sentencing and everything. So it was found that because John Matthias claims to be an expert and he works with sexual deviants and he examines them and he's a professional expert and all these things. Well, he was hired by the defense of a case in, I believe it was either Nevada or Utah. I don't hold me to that. I don't know. But my point being is like he claims to be this professional. He gives all of his credentials, which are fucking shady to begin with, in everything that I've seen. But they found a case of a pedophile who started committing crimes when he was 15 and he was 23 or 20, maybe 25. We'll find out in the video. And John supposedly evaluated him and tried to get him.
Nothing. They usually start out way earlier than that. So
way earlier. Yeah. And he actually, and this is the fucked up part too, is like in John, you guys will hear it, but in John's declaration or whatever his opinion was, said that he had a low, I can't say it, it's on the tip of my tongue, like to reoffend, that was really low and he should get again this sentence, but he had already physically harmed a child. Okay. And they said, John tried to make the argument that his brain wasn't developed and this, that, and the other thing. He pulled the, he was abused as a child card, even though there was no evidence of that. No one had, not that there has to be evidence, but I think that's, we've talked about it before, right? It's kind of a get off free card because you're like, well, they were abused. Well, so was R. Kelly, but he's still badly abused little girls, right? So, two wrongs don't make a right. In any case, yeah. So he was an expert witness for the defense because he got paid, right? When have we seen this? Jessica Hyde, brilliant girl. I'm sure she's great at what she did with Celebrate and everything like that. But she was paid by the state of Massachusetts to get up on that stand and be disingenuous and lie to try to say that Karen Reed didn't do X, Y, and Z and all the things, right? What's Schaefer? This is his last name. Same thing. So I'm gonna pull this up. Hold on. Let's see.
Also, too, I do want to mention that when you mention Frank, you always have to mention Jim.
I know. I forgot. I
yeah,
did.
no,
He corrected me.
Frank and Jim Zell.
Yes, yes. It's both of them. Both of them. How do I, let's see. Hold on. Can we do this? No. We'll do this. No. What about that? We'll just do this. Okay, so this is hella excited utterance. We're gonna go over the expert witness testimony that John Matthias put in his court records. Found Matthias either misunderstood or manipulated discovery for a pedophile, and this is why victims don't come forward. Okay, because it's people like this fucking asshole who will just take money to say anything. He's part of the fucking problem. He doesn't help. He's not an advocate. He's part of the problem. Oh God.
Fred Dittmar III, the defendant, and it looks to me like Dr. John Matthias has been called on by the defense as a expert witness in the sentencing phase because he has pled guilty. This Richard Fred Dittmar. So this is a response to the defendant's sentencing memorandum by the United States plaintiff. And I'll just briefly go through some of the facts, the introduction, and I'm going to be as brief with this as I can because it's quite disturbing. So
No audio. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Anything? Hold on. Let me put this back up here. We can hear you. Can you guys hear me? Nikki, can you hear me? Good grief.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. So this guy is at sentencing, and John, the expert at sexual deviancy, he is in the court hearing or in the docket saying supposedly evaluating this person and giving him less of a sentence. And this man has already, keep this in mind, this man was already convicted of physically harming a relative child. Okay. This is John Matthias. This is their brand.
Real quick, can you just what case is this though? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What case is this for?
So this is John Matthias, and this is they found, because he claims to be an expert witness in a clinical and criminal psychologist, and that he evaluates sexual predators. Okay. Now he's never mentioned the fact that he is for the defense to try to get these people off. He's never mentioned that. But this is him in a legal court document of a sentencing of a pedophile, and him basically saying, well, nothing to see here. He should have a light sentence because of X, Y, and Z, when we're going to find out that he never actually performed the evaluation correctly. He used self-reporting only, which, like, I mean, we all know, like, self-reporting is not to be relied on, right? Especially from this person. We both know and have recited over and over that, like, there's no pill for what they got, and it's not going to get better. So John Matthias,
stop him as a bullet. That's it.
The only thing, shoot, pew pew pew. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right.
Yep. That's it.
I have this on 1.5 just so we can get through it, but just listen to the shit.
Can't hear it, Ames.
Can hear it? All right, fuck it. Fuck it. We're just gonna hold on. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, Nick. Can you hear me? Nikki. Can all of you guys hear me, or is it just Nikki? Nikki, you're muted, honey.
Can't hear you, Ames. You're mute.
Huh? You can't hear? Am I a mute? No, sir. Oh my God. We can, okay, you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you. In any case, okay, so I was going to go over that, but in any case.
We're professionals, kids. We're professionals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just so everybody knows, I'm not a professional. And I have a lot of fucking opinions. I'm just a girl on the internet. Yeah. All right. In any case, so John Matthias essentially was for the defense for a predator, and he wrote a statement saying that he wasn't going to reoffend, that that he was all right and therapy would help him. And this is the same man that I found out sent kids to those ranches. Remember those ranches that, like, it was all over Dr. Phil, and people would come in and, like, steal your child in the middle of the night and bring him to the ranch? He sent kids to those places to be horrifically abused. Paris Hilton has a lot of stories about those. Okay. Lots of stories about those. And he helped send kids there. I side-eyed him. And then I saw this video. If you guys, I put the link in the chat. It's Hella Excited Utterance. And they've done a lot of, like, the text message leaks from Laura Matthias and everything. And then somebody, I kind of chalked up to an X personality. We all know those. That sent him the docket or the sentencing memorandum from a pedophile that he evaluated, didn't even do it correctly. I suggest, if you guys want to look into John Matthias and his lies of who he says he is, go check them out. Okay. Hopefully, Nikki girl, are you here?
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
I hope I'm not breaking it.
No. You're good. All right. So we're going to start the Frank and Jim Zell interview with True Crime Garage TV. And this is part 3. I think is there another one? I think there is.
No, there's only 3 for
this
this
one?
part. Yeah, there's only 3.
Okay.
The other one, have you listened to it yet or no?
Yes. With Jay?
You have? Oh, okay. Wow,
Yes.
shock.
Yeah. It was fucking fascinating. I like her content in general, and I think she's a good interviewer. She's interviewed a few people that have surrounding like the Mormon stuff, which is fascinating too. But yeah, it was an amazing interview. I'd like to go over it. If we stay with the JonBenet thing.
That's a good one
and then
to
we
go
have
over.
It is. It definitely
Yeah.
is. And do you guys see that there's new evidence within the JonBenet around her 29th anniversary of her murder? What did you think of that? Did you watch any of it? I think Ashley Banfield has been covering it.
I watched it. But just kind of
Mainstream.
I don't. Yeah, it's no. I watched it. I just am hoping it finally does get solved, if you will. But
Okay, guys. So this is True Crime Garage TV. Who Killed JonBenet Ramsey? Part 3. Let's go ahead and start. Let me know you guys can hear it, because I know that there was an issue with the last
Indiana
one.
Jones and the Great Circle is available now.
Can hear
Uncover
it.
one of history's greatest mysteries in a first-person single-player adventure.
The captain. Some say I have a plethora of sombreros. It's good to be seen and good to see you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend.
By the way, Amy, I laughed when you said that Frank's voice was soothing. You're on mute, but yeah. You're muted, babe.
It's so soothing. He has that radio voice.
I texted him.
He does.
You have a soothing voice? He's like, apparently. Reminds me of
He
Scott.
does. Read me a book, Frank.
It does. It reminds me of Scott. Yeah.
Wicked. Where's Scott? I love him. This is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So miss me with a copyright. Okay.
Today, we are very cheerful to be featuring Holiday Cheer by the fine folks at Shiner. Shiner Holiday Cheer is one of my favorite holiday beers.
We have a kid out there.
We were just a regular family.
We have a kid out there. JonBenet.
JonBenet Ramsey was in child beauty pageants. Was there an intruder or was the family involved?
Someone killed this 6-year-old child.
People hated the Ramseys.
We have a kid out there.
I did not kill my daughter, JonBenet.
We have a kid out there.
There is evidence of an intruder. I say this over.
I believe we're at 27, 28 years now almost for this unsolved cold case. And I'm calling it a cold case because I don't know how much activity is actually happening outside of the media on this case. And I think that's fair to speculate because in this docuseries, it didn't seem like Boulder police wanted to be a part of the series, or at least add a comment or get involved. So the docuseries was called
Vicky,
Cold
let me
Case,
know if
Who
you want me to
Killed
pause it,
JonBenet
okay?
Ramsey. It's on
I will.
Netflix. It's a 3-part series. It was a quick watch for me just because I'm fascinated by the case. It's got a lot of people talking on social media again, and a lot of people asking questions, a lot of new observations, let's say, from certain people that have called some things into question. So we wanted to circle back. As our longtime listeners know, we have discussed this case at length on several opportunities over the years. And in fact, last year we released many episodes about this case, started off with a 6-part series several years ago. So this is a case that we will likely continue to revisit periodically and explore it when there is new information or old information that maybe needs to be rehashed. And that's what I think we got here from this docu-series that came out just a little over a week ago.
Yeah, and mixed reviews on this. It's been #1 on iTunes, pretty much all over the world.
I was gonna
so
skip forward a little bit.
Case
John Ramsey was present. There were people there talking openly about the JonBenet Ramsey case. And the thing that I thought was really interesting, I met some folks that were pretty hardcore into true crime, listening to podcasts, watching everything they can on TV. They had tag-alongs, right? We know that a lot of times a husband or boyfriend will tag along. That's typically the setup.
Those are my favorite people.
Yeah, yes.
It's the ones that come up and go, my wife loves you. I don't know who you are. And I'm like, hey, let's have a beer later.
The guys that go, I was just in charge of the driving portion of this trip. But they have a great time. And so I met several people that are somewhat new to true crime, and let's say about 10 years younger than us, roughly. I was really shocked and surprised.
I'm going to pause right there for a second. Just not
To
for
be fair,
nothing, but like
Frank's going to love this comment,
Yeah.
but he's old, so that's not hard to do, being younger than Frank. So that's my only and last blow, I promise, Frank. I call him
First of all, Frank is adorable, and he sounds like a spring chicken. I told him that too. He sounds like a 40-year-old. Like, you know, he doesn't sound like Nana, you know?
I call him yeah. It's like a running joke.
He sounds like a spring chicken. I love that. Hopefully he's still here. With this, like, this is spot on though, because this case has captivated people that were not alive when she was murdered. People who probably weren't into the case because there wasn't things like YouTube and people like us going and talking about it, right? And so
correct.
they're
like
recapping.
Back then, nothing was available. You know?
Nothing. And kind of like we were talking a couple weeks ago, we were like, well, you know, you only found out really what the mainstream media put out, and then there's people like Frank and Jim Zell who give us all the info because they do it out of the goodness of their heart, not clout. So it's good.
Yeah, they just see that something's not right.
The JonBenet Ramsey case.
Yeah. Like such pure intention, and to this day, even like there's no clout chasing. That I don't hold your breath with the new evidence. Yeah, I know.
That's what I didn't want to say.
The thing is that they're trying to keep it out. Right. I mean, listen, they've had the evidence and DNA and all these things for decades. Okay, and things just disappear, and people just die, or you know, in genre, you know what I mean? It's just, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah,
I know they're trying to keep it out in the public, but like do something with it. Like bring it out to the public and with actual factual information, not this baiting with the carrot. Like, we might have something. Do you?
Yeah, well, because they're just trying to appease. They're trying to appease people because everybody, like you and I are talking about this. You know, other crime, like media, like online and stuff, everybody's talking about it. So and John, he continues to go to CrimeCon every year.
Every year.
I have my own opinion on that, but which I told you. I think I told you. I feel like that he's just trying to keep his narrative out there, so others can't speak on it. You know what I mean?
Right, because people like the Zells are dangerous to conspiracy theories and open. Yeah, they're dangerous to a narrative. And when people speak the truth, often people don't like it. It's blissful ignorance. People don't want to know what's really going on. That's how I look at it. It's like when people only follow the story from what you're being told by the family or anything. Do I think that they physically harmed their daughter? No, I don't think that. But there's something afoot. There's something going on.
Frank told you their charges were, oh God, he's gonna murder me if I say it wrong. A red rum, sorry. Basically, they put her in basically neglect. They put her in harm's way. And I don't know, Frank's listening, so he could tell you. But like basically, it wasn't that they abused. I feel that I have my own opinions about the Ramseys, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. But I don't think they had any idea about her. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. One thing is that like being a talking head on a YouTube channel discussing this, first of all, like it needs attention. Get this girl justice. Doesn't matter who it was. But because there have been a lot of YouTubers and X posts and stuff about JonBenet, I like the fact that you said they had to like take back their narrative. It's like, well,
Frank is so behind. He's like looking behind.
He started over.
Yeah,
Frank, you're so cute.
I'm gonna tell him to catch up. Hold on.
All right, we're gonna continue with this. Frank, get with it, brother. All right.
And it was interesting to me to have these conversations with those individuals to see how they're kind of working through it in their mind and the toil that they have to do, because this is a case with so many obstacles, so many hurdles to clear. It's almost mind-boggling. And to see them trying to work through it in their mind during conversation we're having, and I'm not trying to enlighten them as to my opinions or things that I've researched over the years on this case, or trying to educate them on some of the details. No, I'm simply trying to take in from them what their observations were on items and particulars that they learned throughout the course of their visit at CrimeCon, and to see that they're for the first time forming an opinion on what they think happened, why they think it happened. So very intriguing to meet people that are somewhat new to this case. It's kind of like we covered Robert Wone last week and the week before. If you are outside, we said this then, if you are outside of that Washington, D.C., Maryland area, some people, if you go further west, are not so aware of that case. And it's one of those cases that immediately you start to hear the details of that case and you go, my God, why have I not heard about this before? And if you have heard of the case and know some of the details, you go, yeah, I'm ready to buckle up one more time and revisit this case, because it's so intriguing and there's avenues that you could go down with that case. And in ways, it's strange. We didn't plan this because we didn't know. We knew this docu-series was coming out, and I think some friends of mine let me know when they believe the release date was. But
Nick, do we know what docu-series that they're speaking of? What's that?
I'm sorry.
For the listeners, they keep saying this docu-series. You're good. Oh, no. So docu-series. They're saying that a docu-series came out about JonBenet. I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, it's probably the Netflix one. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
But that's the thing too. It's all the same fucking shit. It's all the I had a Christmas party. I found our. It's like.
Yeah, and it's just unnecessary information, more or less. Really.
Right. It's
the same narrative.
The bait and catch. The same. Yep. All right. Let's keep going.
What we're seeing now, Captain, with some of the streaming services is they're not so amped up to really hype up and advertise and market a true crime story that they're about to release, because it's almost like they're afraid somebody else is going to get the jump on them if somebody else is working on one. So we're seeing this shift where the streaming services aren't so openly advertising for these documentaries and docuseries way down the line. It's only up until you get close here. So with this one coming out real quick, and we'll jump into this because we got a lot that I want to dig through and tear through here.
And it says something like, this is me at 3 a.m. Googling who killed JonBenet Ramsey.
I went too far.
Well, the problem I have with this case is there's a meme. Everybody's seen it. It's a lady in her bed. Her face is glowing because of the screen on her cell phone. And it says something like, this is me at 3 a.m. Googling who killed JonBenet Ramsey. This is one of those cases for me. So any documentary or book, or if I'm on YouTube loves to suggest random people's random thoughts about this case, and I will watch every single video. And that's one of the reasons that this case bothers me. And once it's solved, if it ever is solved, at least I can stop that part of my life. So it's definitely a case that I will dive into any new information. And I agree with a lot of people. A lot of this documentary is rehashed garbage or information you've heard before.
So true, because people do not want the truth. They don't want to hear that there's Boulder, Colorado is a breeding ground for fucking pedophilia, and it goes way deeper than just JonBenet Ramsey. Way deeper.
Correct.
I mean, until you introduced me to Frank and his brother, I was going based on what we've been told. I have gone down rabbit holes, but I've never gotten the information like I've gotten recently. That is mind blowing. Okay, fucking mind blowing. Oh, hey, bad kids, Heather, I missed you, baby. It's good to see you. Way deeper than anyone's willing to look at, and it's fucking sick. Okay,
hot steamy pile of shit, if you will. But you have to keep in mind, some people are coming to this case for the first time, so you have to go over those details. We're not going to go over all those details in this episode. I would give it a 2 thumbs up. I've watched it twice now, and then I've watched a ton of videos of people dissecting different scenes and different comments made by John Ramsey or other individuals in this documentary. But I thought it was an easy watch. I hate when true crime documentaries are 6 to 8 parts, and by the 7th part or 8th part, you're like, why was this 7 or 8 parts? I think this one fits nicely with some of the old information and some of the new information into a 3-part series. And look, this was directed by one of True Crime Doc's OGs, right? This is half the team that did Paradise Lost.
I'm not going to refer to it as a steamy pile of shit because I don't think anybody will care to listen to the remainder of our episode on it. I actually thought it was very good, considering I knew walking into it. With a lot of these cases that are revisited time and time again, and we talked about how old this case is. It's been, all these years since the poor girl was killed inside of her home. I know with some of these cases, particularly because of what we do and our coverage on this exact case right here, that I've learned to not walk into these going, well, I'm expecting to learn a whole lot of new information.
Right.
And if I can clear that hurdle, then I can just sit back as a viewer and try to absorb it and take it all in. And taking it all in, I actually thought it was done very well. I thought the look of it, the flow of it, I thought was very good.
Real quick.
And you talked about we're going to do this exercise where
you're on part 1. I was just notified.
Yes.
No, you need to be on 3.
What?
We're doing 3 of 3.
Oh shit.
Remember? Yeah, you're good.
Hold on, Ramsey. Yeah, hold on. It says part 3.
No, this is part 1 of 3.
Well, 1 of 3. We're professionals here. Thanks. Here we go. Here we go, kids.
It's fine, everybody.
Jesus Christ.
Whether you're making the same breakfast that you have every day,
Frank. Don't worry.
or baking a cake for an extra special day,
Frank.
eggs are a staple in our diets.
Thank you, Frank.
Eggland's best eggs are nutritionally superior to ordinary eggs.
Yeah, we're on
Essentials.
it.
That's SAFRAN,
Right?
everyday.com.
Jesus Christ. We're professionals.
We are professionals.
I mean, you have the Ramsey interviews, John's interview. You got the 2 Patsy Ramsey interviews, but case file information.
I have the link in the chat to this if you guys want to go over and
this
do
is
it
from
non-commentary.
From a third party saying that we should take a look at something, and they sent us a file, and it was this. So we're looking at it, and there's a date. It's to one of the commanders at the Boulder Police Department, and it's also to the district attorney's office.
Same bitch.
It's written by a detective, dated 2/26/97, 14:30 hours. And in this tip line call, the detective is interviewing a woman who's calling to give information about a family member, her brother. And she's stating that after seeing the Ramsey murder, she thought maybe she should call and let the police know. And as the detective is interviewing her, she's talking about how her brother is a part of St. John's Church and how he had sex with his sister, her, from the age of 11 to the age of 18.
That's
And
fucking.
the woman also states that her brother has mentioned that he knows the Ramsey family, and she wants this information to be given to the police and thinking it may help and that they may want to look at her brother. So that is, in essence, the tip line call. It goes into, I don't want to read the whole thing, but it just goes into where she lives, where the brother lives. But the crux of it is the information that she was sexually abused by her brother over a period of years. So you talk about incest, and because of her age, and she mentions it started off as kind of like nude modeling, but then led on into full intercourse. So this wasn't just a case of slight molestation. So that is,
I mean, it's never the boogeyman.
Correct.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Is in essence this tip line call.
To be clear here, this tip that's coming in is coming in for, and I know that you've already said a lot of this, but I want everybody to have a good understanding. The tip that's coming in is saying, not only was I subjected to abuse or incest at the hands of my brother, but this individual has direct ties to St. John's Church and is in Boulder, Colorado, 1996, December. And so this individual should be of great concern, especially factoring in that the victim in that abuse case that she's calling in would have been a younger victim.
Yes, she was in her 40s when she made this call back, and so this happened many years prior to the murder. So she was aged 10 or 11 when it started, lasted up till she was around 18. Her brother, this is the person that's connected to St. John's, was around 16 when he started the abuse of his sister. And for whatever reason, when the JonBenet Ramsey case broke, it just reminded her of her brother, and she was like, I better call the tip line, which she did. And then what you have here is the detective interviewing her over the phone, and she's giving him this information. The other thing that came in was a narrative written by another detective. And it pretty much goes over the phone call that the other detective had, and it's just basically a summary. And the detective actually writes, after speaking with this woman, I felt it was important to speak with her brother. So they bring the brother in.
Oh shit. They're like, okay, so she was credible enough that they went and talked to the brother.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no, they're dots.
Question him.
I'll tell you. If there's
before the brother,
that Frank and Jim do,
bring in Reverend
the dots.
Go ahead, Mama.
I was just saying, if there's one thing that Frank and Jim do,
yeah,
is they make sure that
they deserve
dot their I's and cross their T's before they truly say anything, But
right, yeah, rightfully so. I mean, integrity and credibility, and I mean, and what's sad is the fact that the brother was probably a victim as well, and it's that perpetual cycle of fucking craziness. Yep.
Correct. Yeah, and that's I feel bad for him because he's been dragged, and like the narrative that he did it when she was hit so hard. There's no way.
See, and that's another piece of information that I found out. I didn't realize that she was like hit so hard that she had that skull fracture that she had. That's not something that was like, they said, oh, she got hit in the head. They didn't say the brutality of it. I just learned that out from Frank. Yeah. Fucking sick. All right, let's keep going. Thanks for being here with me, Nikki. Thanks for everyone who's here. If you guys are over on X, come over to YouTube, give the video a like. I also have the link to this video if you want it without our commentary. it's definitely worth a listen. And also, I'm gonna find the Jay one if you guys want to know. Have the interview
We
with
should go
Every Day
over
with
it
Jay.
though. We have to go over
Yeah,
Jay's
I know.
because
That's true. Yeah,
they both give so much more information on this.
yeah,
And
yeah.
she's
Maybe
great at interviewing.
She is. She
So.
is. I'm like coffee talk. I like to like coffee talk, but the interview is great with her. We'll get through this today, and then next week we'll do it.
We're professionals here, but we just like to hang out more or less.
Yeah, we hang out and have coffee and talk shit. I mean, don't tell me what to do.
Fine. Right?
It's fine.
We're good.
Who was the rector or the head priest of St. John's Church. They tell him the phone call person is that she's talking about is from St. John's, and Overstock says, "Oh yeah, I know," but he said, "I'm shocked to learn about any kind of sexual molestation about him. I had no idea." Reverend Overstock, because we have other information that contradicts that statement by him. And that's going to lead us to what I want to call the church timeline of events. Okay, the church timeline is not a police document. This is a document that I made based that wrote the Manchurian Doll. And then later, my brother and I got the name of another individual, and we contacted this person, and we call this person. So this is a third person. So you have the tip line woman, you have the poem writer woman, and now we found a person that we call the witness in the church.
God.
And the witness describes to us a story that ties in the poem, the Three Men poem, and how certain stanzas were based on true events, based on our witness in the church. It's what our witness went through and witnessed. So our witness at the church joins St. John's Episcopal Church in 19. Witness states that Father Overstock is notified about an individual by the individual's sister. That individual I'm referring to is the individual I just talked about in the tip line, the brother. The sister that made the tip line call in 1997 went to the church and told Father Overstock, according to our witness, this is a huge problem, because as I had just read in the police documents, Overstock said he was shocked to learn about this individual and about any kind of sexual molestation. According to what my witness says, he knew years prior. So he knew exactly what this person was years before JonBenet died, and then lied to the cops about it. That opens up a can of worms, because he was there that morning. He's a close friend of John Ramsey. So big problems. To continue with the church timeline. Overstock is notified about the brother by the brother's sister concerning the brother's sexual abuse of her when she was younger. Mid-90s, Father Overstock oversees St. John's 100th anniversary capital campaign, which resulted in a major restoration and expansion on church campus. Millions of dollars are raised. This is an extremely wealthy church. Everybody needs to remember that. Okay, February 1997. Woman calls the Ramsey murder tip line. The woman.
Amy, pause it for
you have anything to? Yes, go ahead.
I do. All right. So, like Frank just said, this is a very extremely wealthy church, and when he means the pockets go deep there, they go deep, and we know how money controls things.
Everything. Follow the money.
Yep. So that's what
Frank
basically it is, and so there's money for cover-ups. There's money for There's just keep that in mind. Yeah.
Yes.
Basically,
and
it's lot of deep pockets. A lot of deep pockets.
Right. And often organizations are a catalyst for all types of abuse. And this is no different, right? Who, no one really knows what happened, but it is a known fact that organizations such as churches and stuff with deep pockets, no tax exemption, and the more money you have, the more power you have. And even I said this when Frank was on, it's like it didn't matter who tried to actually help. They all got shut down because of what was actually going on. Right.
Correct.
And I've actually conclude by watching everything that Frank said this when he was on. He said that it could have been abuse that went too far that time. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably wasn't in my opinion. I mean, this is an opinion speculation channel. We're not professionals. We just talk out loud. This is my opinion so far with the information that I have. We've gotten. Hi, Paula. It's good to see you, honey. It's good to see you, Mama. All right. Let's see. Let me know if you want me to stop again.
Tells the Boulder Police Department about her brother, who is a member at St. John's. She tells the Boulder Police that her brother started having sex with her around the age of 11 through 18 years of age. She states that her brother, that they need to look at her brother when it comes to the murder of JonBenet Ramsey.
That's
February,
crazy.
March 97. Boulder Police interview Father Hoverstock. Hoverstock talks about the brother. Hoverstock says he asked her. Hoverstock says he is shocked to learn of this information. As I just stated, my witness contradicts that. February, March 97, the Boulder Police Department interviewed the brother. During that interview with the brother, he pretty much has no alibi. Asleep at home with the wife. That's not considered a good alibi. April 30th, 1997.
Let me jump in here for a second.
Yes, sir.
Hi, baby.
Where in proximity to the Ramsey home is asleep at home with the wife?
Very close. Minutes
driving, minutes walking.
Minutes walking.
Minutes walking. Mm-hmm. Continue on. I'm sorry.
1998. Our witness befriends the brother at St. John's.
What?
Like I had mentioned earlier, he was a very popular individual at the church. The brother starts to talk to my witness as they get closer. And then all of a sudden starts telling her about incest fantasies that he's having.
I beg your fucking pardon?
Yeah.
So
wait,
he's
a
high.
Playing it though because you gotta
Okay.
have to let Frank. No. We can talk about it right now, but you have to let Frank explain. Okay. He kind of sets up the picture right here of
Right. I mean, how emboldened do you have to be to meet someone? You're a well-liked figure. Isn't it funny how all like the fucking crazy pathological fucking craziness are the most likable people?
Yeah. That's what everybody says. I can never see him doing it. He's such a nice guy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's why they get away with it.
Or his writings about incest, and tells our witness that he is watching and fantasizing about little girls who attend church at St. John's.
Fair enough, Heather. Fair enough.
My witness goes to Father Hoverstock and other vestry members who are, when we say vestry, that's elected church officials. And she tries to tell them about this individual's actions and behaviors, about the incest fantasies and the fantasizing about girls at the church. She is either dismissed or not believed. And as she told me in, I believe it was 98, when she went to Hoverstock and told him what was going on with this individual, Hoverstock told her to go light a candle and then walked away.
I mean, in reality, this brother is grooming, or I believe trying to groom the witness.
Yeah.
She has a young child.
The witness got very upset during one of the phone calls, and she started asking me, why did he pick me? Why did he pick me to tell me these things and to show me these things?
I'm so happy you're back.
You have a daughter, right? How old was she? She was young. I said, he was most likely grooming you to get to your daughter, to see where you were at. That's why he picked you.
Heather, we live
anyway,
here.
To continue. Good Friday, 1999.
You want me to pause it?
Our witness finds child pornography.
You wanted me to pause it? Oh,
no. I was
okay.
saying hi to Heather.
Right here. My bad.
In what is described to me as this individual's studio inside the church. My witness notifies the vestry members. They notify the Boulder Police Department.
Let me jump in here again,
Yes.
Frank. So when we say finds child pornography, are we talking about digital, paper, pictures? What are we talking? Do we have an idea?
Did not go into specifics.
Okay. So it could have been one picture. It could have been a mountain of pictures. We don't fully know.
It was as the only way she described it was child pornography and other stuff.
Okay.
That's it. That's the only description.
Something that prompted this individual to call the police.
It prompted her to notify vestry members, church leadership, and they called the police.
Okay.
Good Friday, continuing 1999, Boulder Police.
I'm going to stop right there for a second. It's always within churches. They don't want you to go outside of the church organization to get help. It's all done with inside. And that's what the breeding of abuse does, people.
Yeah, because they want to control the narrative.
They want to control you. They want to control it. It's fucking crazy. And this is par for the course with most organized religions. So I've looked into that St. James fucking
call to the church. The Boulder police have to break into the room because it looks like this individual had locked the door. And now I refer back to the 3 Men poem. They did not know he changed the key when police would come to query. So would claim illicitly. Over a period of years, all this stuff is stuff. There is one vestry member who was present. They give us the name. I'm not going to mention the name. And having knowledge of these events.
Yep.
My witness says there was several vestry members present, but there was one name she remembered in particular. The child pornography is taken out of the church, and the individual is removed from the church, but is not arrested by the Boulder Police Department.
It's not St. James. It's St. John.
For whatever reason, the Boulder Police cover up the search at St. John.
St. John's, my bad.
St. John's, and you have to
okay,
remember.
So
it's like JonBenet.
It's St. John's. My bad.
Yeah.
That's right. It's St. John's in Boulder.
St. John's, yeah.
I always want to say St. James.
I know. I'm corrected. Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
I think that's
St.
like
John's.
the 18th time I've done it. We're professionals. Yeah, St. John's in Boulder.
Yes. If you look at JonBenet, that's how I remember it. Because,
that's a good way to JonBenet,
Yeah.
St. John's. And so the Ramseys were affiliated with St. John's Church, and a lot of the breeding of child abuse, right, is within this church. And everyone, it seems as though everyone that is being kind of like, they're being talked about, most of them were associated to this church in Boulder, Colorado, St. John's. Do you know if it's like is it like a Christian, they wave their hands around and stuff, or?
I have no idea, but I know it's the New Age one. It's so bad. Hold on, I'll get the hold on. Let me text somebody. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Right, Ray, exactly, honey. Exactly. And also, they're talking about this is, I've said this before, like I grew up Catholic and I identify as Catholic. I'm non-practicing. However, this is what happened within the Catholic Church. The pedophile priests, they took them from one parish to another, instead of addressing the problem. They allowed it to perpetuate just by, turning a blind eye, know what was going on, putting the problem somewhere else. And it looks like this organization, they didn't want to get smeared on the internet, on the interwebs, but this is way before the internet. And they tried to save face. So instead of actually helping these victims who came forward, they just, slapped them on the wrist, shunned this person, but didn't actually go, or the Boulder police didn't arrest this person for one reason or another. And that goes back to Frank and Jim saying, it's all about corruption, right? the higher it goes, the more it gets buried.
It's an Episcopalian church. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I believe those are the ones you go and raise your hands and everything like that. Real Christian. Real Christian.
Yeah.
Hey, Hastings Stones, Rozzy in the house. Happy you're here,
Frank
babe.
says it's a very liberal Catholicism. Episcopalian.
Okay.
Yeah. Very liberal. So it's a new age. Yeah.
The progressive, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. Like the new age. And it's, I mean, yeah.
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 I mean,
they make their own rules basically as they go.
Right. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yeah, they keep it so insulated that they're so enmeshed with these parish goers and families and stuff that it's the same as you see with any religion that we've gone over, right?
Yeah,
they're all like this.
It's more like a cult that just practices.
Amen.
Yes,
absolutely. Right. Like I've never seen a Catholic shunned. Do they do horrible things? Yeah, they've done horrible things. But I mean, I still, my priest from gave me all my sacraments. I still speak to him. He knows that I don't go to church every Sunday and stuff. He still loves me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no shunning really. I mean, there's tons of things wrong with that religion, but that's not something that I've witnessed myself. It's very eye-opening to see how other organizations operate, right?
Yeah.
Look at Scientology. Yeah. They breed child abuse by they think that all people, including little people, are just big adults in little bodies. And so they allow all of these people to be abused and everything because they don't believe that like a child should be a child because it's lived 10,000 lives. So you can do whatever you want to them. They just have little bodies, which is frightening. All right, let's keep going.
It's never made public. There's no paperwork on it that we ever found. The public has never been made aware that a search at the church has ever taken place. Never mind that pornography was found. April, May 1999. Now, this is where the poem writer information comes in because she was interviewed. Poem writer states that vestry members meet to discuss what to do with this individual. The poem writer states that this individual is asked to leave the church.
What?
This individual refuses. This individual blackmails the church. The witness states that this individual used the phrase, "If I go down, we all go down." This individual is paid off. The amount paid, poem writer states, is $300,000.
$300,000.
But this was also in the 90s. Remember that.
Right.
Remember how big $300,000?
A lot of fucking money.
A lot of money back then. Oh God. Not now.
It's a lot of money. Right.
Yeah, read the line from the poem, Frank.
Oh, and then you go back to the poem. And so avoiding calumny, a grand sum he was paid to flee. Now you got to understand, we got the poem in 2003 and we're getting this information in like 2018. So everything is connecting. So this individual was paid around $300,000. There's also payments to other individuals. And as my witness states, rumors swirled among the church congregation that money from the capital campaign was used to pay off this individual.
Oh my God.
So it's not like people didn't have an idea. Church gossip gets around. My brother and I talked to other people at the church. They didn't want to talk about this incident. Nobody denied it. But they used phrases like, that situation was taken care of. Another person said, we don't focus on that anymore. We moved past that.
Wild.
Nobody denied it.
Another line used was, we already took care of that with the Boulder police.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Now, so he's paid to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Give him some walking around money, some walking away money. What year was that?
Stated it's by my witness, by the poem writer, is April, May 1999.
Okay, so $300,000 in 1999. Today, that would be $550,000 approximately in today's money. To give everybody a good idea of how much this guy was given to walk away, to vanish, get the hell out of here. And then we need to clue the listeners in too, because
not for nothing, he should have taken the money and spilled the beans anyway.
Well, you'll also find that like a lot of them have like NDAs too, whatever it's called.
Right. That's true.
Like they can't. Yeah, like they just. I don't know. That could be wrong. See, I gotta be careful what I say because.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, you can take it off. Yeah. Non-disclosure agreements, though, like
they hold threats. Just like the ring with Epstein. There's just a lot of other people have bad shit that they did that they can go away because of it also. So
right.
You know what I mean?
But I'm pretty sure that there's like a clause with NDAs though that like it doesn't cover crime.
Yeah, as long if you're not involved in a crime. Yeah.
Right. So like if you witness crimes, you can't go tell your, like, if you go and work for somebody else, you can't like tell people proprietary information or how someone operates and this, that, and the other thing if you sign one. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter if you were committing crimes. It's null and void, an NDA. So he could have broken it. And then, but at the same time too, like, at the expense of what you took $20,000 or $550,000 to today's money to shut up about what you knew and continue to let it happen. So everybody has a price. That's what I'm getting from all of this, from everything. Everybody has a price to sell out,
correct,
to not do the right thing. Like Heather, I'm so happy you're back, babe. It's good to see you.
A church is only as successful or wealthy or powerful as its congregation, right? And in this situation, St. John's is in a very affluent part of Colorado. Boulder is very affluent compared to many parts of Colorado, but also this neighborhood in particular is kind of the creme de la creme of Boulder, correct?
Well, just to give you an idea, this is Supreme Court Gorsuch's church.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
These are the kind of people that go there. This is how this kind of money's raised for a capital campaign, where, we're looking to do an expansion, and people in the congregation give money, and you raise a few million.
Not to mention the church gave this person $500,000. This is the same person who was alleged by his sister raped and abused her, fantasized about incest and about abusing other girls at the church,
and
child pornography at the church. And you're going to give this person money to go someplace else?
Well, I mean, that's how it all adds up in totality. Now you have to understand, the witness is not aware. When I told her about poems, she had no idea. She didn't know anything about poems. And when I was talking with her, the witness even said, I started talking about the Ramsey case, and she started getting nervous. The witness is like, "You're not telling me that he could be part of this." It's like they didn't even they don't know about the tip line call because nobody knows about the tip line call. The witness didn't know. Apparently, the poem writer may have had an idea when it's written in the poem. His sister told them it could be.
Mm-hmm.
So to finish the timeline, after this individual is paid off and leaves the church, one of this individual's close friends, who was known as a bad seed, a bad guy, that's the information that we received on this individual. My witness states that this close friend of her children, and threatens her to the point where she has to get a restraining order against this individual. And that's the end of the church timeline. So, and I'm sure, I apologize to the listeners. I know this is like a lot of information, and it seems like we jump all over the place.
I'm going to stop it right there for a second. Good to see you, Mermaid. She said, I went on a deep dive on this last night. I'm starting to think maybe Burke, he had hit her on the head prior with a golf club.
No,
That's
Burke
interesting.
did not. No, Burke did not do this. I will say it right here. This is not. Burke.
I've said
this is not. People need to get Burke out of their heads, absolutely, completely. And that's the false narratives that people. This is what this. Unfortunately, the good thing about internet is that there's sleuthies like us, and then there's bad things about the internet. Sleuthies like us. You know,
sleepy
like
time sleuthies.
Yeah. Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but like we're good. We're good at what we do, obviously.
We are. Yeah.
We're like a Frank and Jim, you know, but Amy we get down to the deep, dark, seated, rooted.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so that's the problem. I think people go on Reddit and they're like, oh, if it was Burke, he's weird. And Burke did not do this. He was not involved, nor really were the Ramseys. So, like Frank described, if you weren't there, so when the grand jury, they pressed charges against them, it wasn't that they hurt their daughter. It was that they put their daughter in a situation where she could get hurt.
Yeah,
so it was not the Ramseys. They did not, definitely wasn't Burke. A little child cannot break a skull. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
because he was very young at the time.
He was very young. Yes. Yeah.
I too thought that it was Burke for a very long time by not having a lot of the information, but now I actually feel bad for thinking that, because looking back at interviews he has done, he looks like he was a victim.
Correct.
And that's trauma.
Correct.
I looked
So
at him kind of, he was an odd.
You have to understand, think outside of the box. Like, look, if this happened to her and she had previous sexual trauma,
right,
you can almost guarantee that it probably happened to Burke. So sexual trauma does weird things to certain different people, you know?
It does.
And it depends on, and like Amy, you listen to the J podcast. As you know, it these parties that they used to have.
Yeah.
Remember the parties where they would do them right before Christmas, so all the wounds and stuff could heal before they went back to school.
It makes your stomach hurt. Right.
I mean, Burke was 9. What 9-year-old can fracture? You think a 9-year-old can fracture a skull? I mean, they don't think like that. Like they'll just like bang, like you know what I mean? Like a 9-year-old, a little baby, basically, more or less.
Right.
You know, like a 9-year-old.
Roommate just said, I agree. They put their child in horrible situations. Yeah. I mean, and that's another thing too. Like you were saying, like the neglect of like putting their child in harm's way, like the pageants alone, when there was already known stalkers, supposedly, right? Remember that she did have a stalker from the pageants. And listen, there are a ton of kids in dance and pageants and stuff like that, and they are sexualized. So that right there alone is already making her a target. But at the same time, good to see you, Calypso. At the same time, it's who they associated with, right?
Yeah.
The upper echelon of people with money and power. And it could be that they inadvertently, indirectly covered up for something that they didn't even really know what happened. They just covered it up because they're like, oh, fuck.
Correct.
Because you don't know, they can have dirt on them aside from any pedophilia and aside from anything else. They could have been doing dirt of their own, tax fraud, anything, and they don't want to get found out. They don't want people looking into things.
Correct.
That's my opinion, right? Like they just didn't want the heat. But but this is okay, Nikki. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna call it. What do you? He goes to Crime Con every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to keep the case alive and stuff, which is very admirable to him to do. And in a sense, to keep out that narrative, like, or just before her death anniversary, they come out with quote unquote new evidence, which is bull. It's just it's regurgitated shit from years prior, right?
Correct. Yeah. you have to what you have to understand too is just keeping a mental note in the back of your brain that John and Patsy also knew the people or persons involved. You know what I mean? Like the Hoverstock, and so you have to understand that.
Right.
So like Hoverstock. I mean, not that I'm saying Hoverstock did it, but I'm just saying like the whole group, like they knew these people. You know.
Yeah, Mark just said the human instinct without facts is to blame immediate family for any case, in my opinion. Yes, especially when they find a brutalized little girl in a basement. You know, you're automatically going to assume that it's within the house. But this is the thing too. It's like one of those things like, you know, we've just said it, like they might not be directly involved, but they know all the players.
It's somebody that felt comfortable enough in the house. Correct.
Right. Yes. Yep. They've been there before.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's keep
going.
Can you hear Kung Fu Panda's tablet?
Yes. But that also doesn't mean
Kaden,
that,
can you turn that down?
It doesn't mean that it was the mom or it was dad or it was the brother. That doesn't mean that. Just keep that in mind, you know.
That's right. Coming full circle with learning more about this, I truly believe that he was also a victim and he knows more and he's fucking traumatized. And that's what brings out his oddities, is because this poor boy probably went through it and he probably knows a lot more than what he says, but he's scared. That's another general gist I've gotten from this experience with the JonBenet.
You have to also understand that this is basically like mob mentality.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people like Frank and his brother, they were told, do not investigate this. You know, like dangerous stuff happens. Like this is right. So you have to understand, like these people are petrified. Frank called the librarian, or it was Jim, I don't remember, but I believe it might have been Frank. Called the librarian, and she said bad things happen to our kids that we don't like to talk about.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that anymore. Well, you're part of the problem.
You're part of the
people. Well, and this is another thing too.
They're afraid if they say anything especially to outsiders looking into this case that are really getting down to the who's who of the case. You know, they're not going to talk.
No. And not for nothing. This is another thing too. Like there's a true crimer on tubes that have incessantly gone after John Ramsey and literally went real life. Like I don't agree with going real life on anyone. So anyone that we talk about, anyone, do not contact them, do not harass them, do not anything. Stop going real life. There's a YouTuber out there that it has her fucking eyes set on him and she went after him at CrimeCon. Like it doesn't matter what you think, because at the end of the day, like no one really, some people do know, but like us, we don't know how. And for her to go after him like that, it's like, well, stop going real life for one.
Yeah, exactly.
And it goes, like we've said over and over, it goes way deeper than the Ramseys. And I think that they were fucking scared shitless too. And they didn't know what to do. And they panicked, and the note and all of these things.
Yeah.
But I still can't get on board. Like two things can be true at the same time. They could be scared shitless and have tried to cover up what they didn't know happened, or they did know, and all. Who knows how long she was really down there for, right? They found her on Christmas morning, but was she there for a few days? Like no one knows that either. Was there a sighting of her the night before on Christmas Eve?
I believe, me personally, I believe it happened the night before. That's what I believe.
Right. Yeah.
True.
And she was placed there.
Yeah, that's just my thoughts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep going.
But what you have here is a problem with this case, especially when it comes to Hoverstock, because it's apparent.
Amy, I can't hear it.
I had with her. She was nervous. And she started panicking at the Ramsey kid that's somehow connected. She panicked. She calls me 2 days later and pretty much says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm laying in bed watching college football. What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm having a picnic with my family. Here's how it happened." And that's when she told me everything in order. And that's how the church timeline came into existence.
Amy, go back like
So
10. Go back like
it
10
appears
seconds.
Overstock lied, according to this witness. You have child
10
pornography
seconds. All right, hold on.
removed by the
Yeah,
Boulder
where
Police Department.
it broke
This
up
is how
for
it
me,
happened.
so
And pretty much
Sorry.
says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I had whatever." She was nervous, and I said, "We'll continue it at another time." Once I mentioned poems, and she started panicking that the Ramsey kid, that's somehow connected. She panicked. She calls me 2 days later, and pretty much says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm laying in bed watching college football. What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm having a picnic with my family. Here's how it happened." And that's when she told me everything in order. And that's how the church timeline came into existence.
Wild.
So it appears Overstock lied, according to this witness. You have child pornography removed by the Boulder Police Department in a search. The person whose child pornography, who has the child pornography, is not arrested. That's a problem, because this is the group that's supposed to solve the Ramsey case, and you're covering up for a pedophile. So it appears the church and the police were kind of working hand in hand to make sure that this never came to light. But what happened? Somebody got cute and wrote a poem back in 2000, 2001, never guessing that anybody could ever figure it out. Lou knew its importance. Me and my brother knew its importance. We kept digging, and now we are at where we are at. And we don't know how. I don't think we can take it any farther. We achieved every goal that we set out in 97 to achieve. We said there'd be a witness that would make claims of child sexual abuse against John or somebody close to him. Those accusations were made. The witness came forward from California. We said that if we kept...
Wait a minute. Wait. This is news to me. I didn't even catch this the first time. I'm going to bring us up and give us a little cleanser. So wait, John was accused of this too? Is that what he just said? So was he doing it to other people's kids?
So this is, yeah. So
fill us in, Nikki.
I gotta be careful. Basically,
yeah,
John,
say what you mean.
Yeah, I just feel like, me personally, like if you're involved as deep as you're involved, but and you probably know the said person or persons that were involved in this,
a couple two tree
shut, and you keep your mouth shut, you're not innocent on other end. Like the Epstein case, he had shit on everybody.
Someone lying by omission is still fucking lying.
Correct.
Yeah, same people say all the things. Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I feel,
me
personally, I feel that John keeps his narrative out there just to keep the public away from the deeper things. It doesn't mean that he hurt her or he's the one that did it, or his wife or Burke, but he's not innocent. I'm going to say a quote. The cleanest, I'm going to screw this up too. Those the cleanest that roll around the mud are still dirty.
You wrote that somewhere, and I was like, "Get it!" True.
Nurse Kim said it, and it's from a friend of ours.
Yeah,
but those who roll around in the mud with people and come out the cleanest, they're still going to be dirty. So let's just keep that in mind. And
I mean, not for nothing. If you're going to cover up for your daughter's murderer, you got dirt all over you. I can't think of a single fucking thing that would make me do that.
So
that's
the charges. So the charges for both John and Patsy, 2 charges each, both identical for the grand jury, was 1, putting a child in a situation where she could be held, which is felony child abuse, which she could be hurt. And the number 2 is aiding and abetting the killer in getting away.
Yeah.
They both were charged for that.
Still
so
a crime.
And they have, like, that's the grand jury based on all of, the evidence.
Fucking look at my hair. Okay. Yeah. No, it's wild. And they just got the grand jury records.
No, you can't. They're sealed.
They got leaked. I'm pretty sure Frank had said that they were someone
leaked. Somebody leaked them, but you can't, because even if you look into it, you could go to jail.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's a
which is
they all should go to
crazy.
jail.
Yeah.
And I'm not accusing the Ramsey parents of like sexual abuse. It could be anything that they didn't want to be said, found out, anything. It could be anything illegal that they were dabbling in, that they were like, oh fuck. You know?
Well, it doesn't even have to.
I've thought about retaliation too. Like if it's something that the parents, you know, get, because you listen, perception is reality. Hi Amber, it's good to see you, baby. You know, perception's reality. So if someone, I've thought this too. So if you did something to somebody and then they're retaliating, what's the best way to do it but to get the most precious things in your life, right? And if people are already sadistic sexual predators, they're going to do sadistic predator activity, right? And I think Heather just said it. If you something with about fleas, you lay with the dog, you get the fleas or whatever. I can't find it.
Yeah.
Amber, it's good to see you, honey. Thank you for being here. If you're over on X, I see some people over on X. Come over to YouTube. We're at Unsolved Amy Boston. Me and Nikki are going over the JonBenet Ramsey True Crime Garage Part 3 with the Zell brothers. Come on over. All right, let me restart this here.
Digging into town, eventually we would come across another case or another scandal that roped in Ramsey case players. That is what happened in the church scandal, the Ramsey church, the one JonBenet went to, an individual, and you have payoffs and a cover-up. Break this scandal open, get answers on why the police did what they did, and the district attorney, they're just as culpable too. They had to have known about the search. They knew about the tip line call, so they knew about this individual from Jump Street, district attorney's office, and the police department. And how the hell they get that tip line call in 97 and nothing happens until somebody calls in 99?
Frank, what's fascinating is that, you know, you never hear anything really discussed about St. John's Church.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Can you guys hear it? Confirm. Hello, can you guys hear me? You can hear me, you just couldn't hear the video, but not the gentleman. Thank you, Heather. Let me see if I can reattach. I can StreamYard. Let me see here, kids. I gotta find it. Here it is. Hold on. All right. Shit.
And he's like, no. He goes, he's more trying to keep a lid on it.
Oh, hold on, Nick. Add copy. Let me know if you guys can hear it. I'm going to back it up a little bit.
He goes, I'm like, well, who? And he's like, look. He goes, look at the people who pay the bills. And I didn't understand when he told me back then what that meant. He was talking the people who pay the bills at St.
I'm backing it up because of the
they want to keep it close to the vest, not disclose anything until they can suss it the whole thing out themselves first.
They want to get from you as much as they can.
Exactly.
That's how they do it. Ali was very much like that.
Hello. Nikki at the stage.
Yeah, I jumped out. I thought it might have been me, but
Yeah, it was me. Well, I don't even freaking StreamYard. Right. You guys, let me know if you can hear it, okay?
He goes, there were other people besides.
Nick, can you hear it?
How Ali dealt with it, with us sometimes. He'd be cryptic because, he was dealing with his own non-disclosure.
What did Ali Gray?
I'm going to back it up
What's
to where we
because they had to have known about the search. They knew about the tip line call, so they knew. And how the hell they get that tip line call in 97 and nothing happens until somebody calls in 99?
Frank, what's fascinating is that, you never hear anything really discussed about St. John's Church. You always hear different, theories and what's going on in the house and what happened here, what happened there, but no one ever discussed St. John's Church. And
never.
What did Ali Gray say about St. John's?
Ali Gray told us. Ali Gray was pushing us towards the church to investigate the church. And two disturbing things he said. He said, one concerning when we were talking about the individual who got caught with the child pornography at St. John's, Ali's words to me were, it wasn't just him.
Right.
Ali said that there were multiple people in the church doing what he was doing. When I pressed Ali for names, he did not give them to me. He said, and this is how Ali dealt with with us sometimes. He'd be cryptic because he was dealing with his own non-disclosure agreement.
Well, and detectives are always kind of very secretive, right? And they want to keep it close to the vest, not disclose anything until they can suss it the whole thing out themselves first.
They do it. Ali was very much like that. But what did he say, Frank?
So he said, he goes, there were other people besides this individual. And I'm like, involved doing stuff to kids or child pornography? He's like, yeah. And
like what?
The first thing that came to my head, I said, not overstock, right? And he's like, no. He goes, he's more trying. And he's like, look at the people who pay the bills. And I didn't understand when he told me back then what that meant. He was talking the people who vestry members, the elected officials, they literally pay the bills. So Ali is saying that maybe was effective. If I go down, we all go down. Right. And that's why they paid him off, because maybe he was threatening to out others. So you got a huge problem within this church. And they recycle them every year like clockwork almost. Gary Oliva, right? Every year we'll get a Gary Oliva story. What's another good one? Michael Helgoth. Michael Helgoth. Oh yeah, maybe he did it. Oh yeah, over the years. The break.
That's another thing that I've gone with until I started listening to the Zell brothers, was that it was because whoever wrote that note knew how much he made in bonuses that year. And so it had to have been like an inside job. It had to have, regardless of the situation, it was some way, shape, or form an inside job, whether directly or indirectly. I don't think that the family had anything to do with the actual killing, but it's real gross. It feels gross, right?
I believe that the ransom note was just a little smoke and mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you think that the mother wrote it? Or was it said person who just like in your gut? Like, do you think like they wrote it?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like if somebody were to come in their house and write this long ransom note, it's my boy Freddie. Hi, Freddie.
Hi, Freddie. That's awesome.
Yeah, because it was a long ransom note, so
yeah,
you
had to sit there. Like, you ever wrote like a 7-page letter? You sit there for a while. That was not a rush.
Correct.
And the information they put in, it's so wordy and too exact. You're just like, ugh. And like, I don't know what happened that day, but like, there's stuff that I hear that makes like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, where you're just like, oh my God, what? Like, this is the world we live in. This is what happens. It's more. Exactly. There's just so much more. Hold on. What does Amber say? I believe Patsy had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I don't like. I don't think that the parents or Burke had anything to do with her unaliving.
Correct.
But I think that they were preyed on. I think that there was willful ignorance to what was going on around them for the sake. Because what's the root of all evil?
Correct. Money. And like I said, the grand jury, when they were going to charge the Ramseys, it wasn't because they harmed their daughter in the sense of actually doing the unaliving. Their charges were both identical. One charge was putting a child in a situation where she could be hurt, which is a child felony charge child abuse.
Yeah.
And then number 2 was aiding and abetting the killer in getting away.
To get away. Yeah.
So,
and those are crimes.
Correct.
And disgusting.
And they both, that's the charges for both Patsy and John.
Right.
So
I agree with that. I agree with the negligence.
You know that they were involved somehow, but do I think that they unalived her? Absolutely not.
No, I don't think so either.
And nor
Let's
Ramsey.
Keep going. We got a few more.
It's a little skippy.
I'm gonna fast. Oh, go ahead, Mama.
Yeah, it's a little skippy. I don't know why. I think honestly, it started skipping when
the
you
question
posted
is, what did the grand jury hear?
You're correct. Thank God you're
here, Frank. The question. I know. He's so cool.
I don't want to butcher it.
What did they hear? What did they hear? Like, because if the grand jury, if they were going to charge them with the neglect and stuff like that, there had to have been like substantial something. You know, there had to have been some type of like evidence that they were neglectful or allowed like, willful ignorance. It's like you just turned a blind eye. And I question parents' motives, especially when it comes to their children, that you are turning. Look at the Madeline Soto case. The mother didn't do it, but she handed up her daughter on a silver platter for a man.
Oh, no, she's
and turned a blind eye and said, I need to have good sleep. Yeah. And knew that her almost teenage daughter was sleeping with her weirdo boyfriend. Like that. What?
Yeah, Frank says not neglect. They were putting her in situations that they knew she was getting hurt.
Hold on, what does it say? They were indicted for placing the daughter in a situation. Right. Okay. Yeah. Wrong words used, but yeah, that tracks, you know. Question is, what was the situation? Exactly, Frank. This is why you're good at it. This is why you guys have been doing this for us. Yeah, I mean, the PI. No, okay. Let's keep going. I'm gonna fast forward to 10.
All the cold weather must-haves, like you are flash language because you want to could make you a more competitive job applicant, then it will fast track your language acquisition because lessons are immersive. They're designed to teach you to pick up languages in a natural way. A pricey journey. Don't put off learning that the your life. Read sensors that not only detect break-ins, but you need. Try Simply Safe for speaking while I'm sleeping.
All right, here we go. I like this.
I will give you a break. I'll tell you what, you're going to get another Gary Oliva, somebody from John's office, business from True Crime Garage when you tune in next week. But because what we're trying to do here, guys, is look at this case from several different people's perspectives with different possible theories. And so we want to kind of, as you guys did with your investigation, you really investigated Boulder. What the hell was going on in this city?
What Kung Fu Panda is sucking up.
Yeah, he really is.
What is going on? And so we wanted to do something somewhat similar and talk about things that we didn't get to in those first 6 parts. So we will be, we're doing this interview here tonight, but you'll hear next week. And so don't get upset with me and send some rough email my way, but
the internet's rough.
It's I'm not mad at people, the public or people who filed the case discussing it. I'm mad at the district attorney's office. It's like they're running a shell game on the public. You know what I mean? It's like they almost like they know the truth, but they don't want it to come out in a way. That's always been the vibe that I've gotten almost from the beginning of this case. It reminds me of the Kennedy assassination in a way, right? The mafia did it. The Cubans did it. They keep everybody guessing, but don't look at the facts. And I know some people think Lee Harvey Oswald did it. Them think that maybe our government was involved. Looking at everything.
I also think that the government had to do with Charlie Kirk assassination, and I really have wanted to cover it, but it's so. I might. I really truly believe that the same thing that happened to JFK happened to Charlie Kirk because he turned his back on what he was expected to do, and he
problem
became
is
a
getting
huge
political
problem
is a dangerous game to play.
Right. Politics are touchy. That's why I haven't covered it, but I'm enthralled with the Charlie Kirk shit. It's the same thing. What is Freddie Lynn? Jack Ruby of the John. Who's the Jack Ruby of the JonBenet case? What does that mean, babe? Maybe the police had some involvement in child porn. Yeah. All of the upper echelons. The DA, like like Frank said the last time he was here, 2 weeks ago, like the police can give you things, but it's up to the DA's office and all of these people to bring charges and to actually look into it. But they wanted nothing to do with it. Why? Like Frank just said it in the chat. He said, what did they find out? What was the situation that they thought that the Ramseys put JonBenet in? What was that thing that caused the charges to come? Everyone. And the thing is too, is like often the cover up is worse. Not in this case. I don't think it's worse than the crime, but cover up ends up being worse than the crime, right? If you just offered up the information to begin with,
right,
we wouldn't be in this pickle.
Why are they covering it up?
Why exactly?
How
exactly.
many
who
people
else is involved?
And who is involved? And how? Oh, okay, Freddie. I love you. You know this, but this is not a Freddie Lynn production. Okay, let's tone down.
Is Freddie a creator?
Freddie is. Yeah, go ahead. Don't ask him that.
Is he?
Freddie. I love Freddie. He's got a touch of the tism, so he gets very deep into thoughts. And it's just we're not the ones here, babe. I promise. We're not the ones.
It's we are a tism friendly place. We both got the tisms.
We love the tism. However,
we love the tisms here. Yeah. I don't know who Ruby is. And maybe next time we have Frank on, he can answer that. But I am just like you guys, taking in information and critically thinking for myself, because I know the two of us, you don't expect us, I'll speak for myself. I do what I want. And I want all the information. I don't go with the grain and just accept what I'm told.
Ruby killed Oswald. Okay.
Ruby killed
Don't worry
Oswald.
about it. A question for Frank, maybe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Calypso, you're one of those too. You're a bad kid. We think for ourselves over in this on this platform. we don't follow the crowd over here. All right.
Anything else, but the stuff and the connections that you can make, they don't want you looking at, or they hide it. The Ramsey case, they hid this from the American public. They hid this search. If this happened, now, Nick, how old are you?
Amy
Nick?
in the back
Just
seat.
checking.
You're going to make me say this on mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would have to
I'm
give.
sorry.
I'm putting him on the spot, Frank.
I'm 44 years old. 44 years old. 44 years young.
Hey, you're younger than us. Okay, so you have an
Frank's
understanding. A lot of people are younger and they don't understand what this case was like in the beginning, how big it really was. If this information surfaced at the start of the case, that church would have been destroyed instantly.
As it should have been, Frank.
I just can't get away from the fact that they bent over to protect this church and protected a pedophile from being arrested for child pornography. I mean, who was in charge of the...
You muted, Ames. Ames muted.
Sorry, I was just going on a rant. They're all complicit. With any abuse that happened from the time they fucking found out, after that, all of those motherfuckers are complicit in what happened to anybody else.
Well, I mean, as you heard, like the cops were even involved.
Yes.
So it goes way deeper than just like Frank has said. Frank and Jim, you have to look inside the church in other cases because a lot of them are linked. And once you break open that egg, it will just get solved. But they don't want it.
Yeah,
They're
but
trying
they
to
don't want to
protect
look. Yeah, just like he just said, it's like if they just thrown that fucking church under the bus to begin with, maybe we wouldn't be in this pickle. But here we are talking about it 29 years later because there's incompetence and corruption.
Hold on.
What?
Freddie, if you're here, just say hi. I feel bad. I'll tell him Freddie to just calm it down a little bit.
Oh, he's all right. That's the thing. Like, I don't mind. Like, I'm
Sunday
all for
thinking
people's.
Sunday. Okay?
This is the Lord's Day.
We don't need to
this is
get
the thing.
deep.
I enjoy everybody's opinion, right?
Correct.
Like, you can have it because no one really knows what happened. I think the people that know the most are the people that have been investigating for 29 years and probably know exactly what the fuck happened. But because it starts at the top, it's really hard to get there because there's so many people willfully ignorant and covering everything up for the people who do the horrible shit, right? I actually just saw on X before we started, Nikki, that the Ramsey grandfather was friends with Epstein. Like, does that make him complicit in a fucking child porn? No, it doesn't, but it's weird.
It doesn't. Yeah, because Epstein did have a house was it in Boulder or no? But that doesn't, like Frank always says, don't look at the stuff not worth looking at. Like people,
the sensationalism.
Yeah. Like it's
and the
more...
things too, John Ramsey and probably the grandfather were in the same business as Epstein too. So if he's a hedge fund person, obviously they're going to rub elbows, right? Like just because they have ties doesn't mean that, now it's tied to the Epstein. No. Listen to the facts that they've been presenting. It's deeper than that. Like just like the Epstein files. Why don't they want those to come out?
Correct. Yeah.
Redacted. Fully redacted. Fucking Pam Bondi. Don't get me started.
The church aspect of the investigation. Are you telling me they don't know this?
Right.
We just figured it out. We just got people to talk. Anyway, yeah, it's been a frustrating, almost 27 years. That's all. Sorry, Nick.
No, and I'll tell you what, Frank, that's a great segue into
absolutely
my next topic, and a good way for us to wrap up this discussion was incredible. We could talk for days and nights and enjoy every moment of it. But so Jim, I'll circle to you because this is how you got my attention, Jim. You had told me that to not focus on who, we need to stop focusing right now on who killed JonBenet. We need to focus more in on the what and the why.
Love that.
And as I recall it, you were saying what was going on in Boulder, what was going on with these people in direct relation to this case at the time. And then the why is, why don't they want to solve this case? Do I have that correct?
Yes, you do. And it's, it all goes back full circle, to the Boulder syndrome, and the how to solve this case was not necessarily who did it, but why it happened and what was going on in the town. And JonBenet and the horrible crime that was committed against her, she was a microcosm of what was happening in Boulder and what we uncovered. And mind you, we're not even touching on certain things and certain cases that involved city officials that were compromised that we've come across, other attorneys, well-known attorneys in the Boulder area, sex parties. I mean, you can go on and on. What was happening in this area? And when you have that type of culture taking place, you're going to wind up with a dead little girl like JonBenet. But you got to know why it happened and what was going on. You got to know the background to get a bigger picture. And like I said, we're hoping that this case will one day that, will go forward, and maybe pressure will be put on the Boulder Police Department to give an answer why certain documents were not released, why certain things. Heck, most people aren't even aware of the poems in the case.
No,
and these are big things. And Stephen Singular said it best, that when a town is trying to protect itself, the truth becomes obscured. And I thought he put that very well.
And I would just like to add, when pedophilia runs amok in a community, someone dies. It's always the case. When pedophilia invades institutions, church, city government, power structure, and they think they can get away with it and just do what they want, somebody's going to get carried away.
But this is the thing too. Like they think they get away with it because they got enabled one time with a slap on the wrist and a cover up, and then it gives them more and more power that they're looking for. Like pedophilia to me is just a fucking power trip, and it breaks little kids' souls, and they don't give a flying fuck. They're
Look at the cases that Frank talked about where nothing really happened to them before in Boulder. Remember the cases that basically nothing. So back then,
nothing happened.
Not as rugged as it is now, but back then it was just so nothing. Nobody got hurt. Like I don't know. I just have I believe that this, especially with this case, it kind of is like a Canton cover up, but
100%. I mean, it's two different issues, right? Like, correct, but corruption's corruption, and you're complicit whether you knew exactly what happened or you went with the grain and you just allowed it, right? Sandra Birchmore, like all the same players, all the same fucking bad behavior. That thin blue line, it's like willful ignorance, and it'll get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And
but
then,
the only people investigating it fully was just the Boulder police. So hence why that narrative that the Ramseys were the ones being looked at for doing it.
Yeah.
They kind of pinned it on them.
Right. Yeah, it was the easy target.
Yeah.
And whoever did it and left her in the house, right? Whoever that was, knew that there was always going to be a suspicion against the parents, that shit was that, because they, if it was a person, they knew what was going to happen. They placed her in the home, and maybe it happened in the home. Who knows? Things went too far. It was around Christmas time. It was around a break, right? From school.
Yeah, it was Christmas time. And that's like the
Yeah,
parties that they used to do, that witness that Jim and Frank spoke to. She was involved, and she said that it always, or he, I don't know, was always done on vacations. So
yeah,
they would be healed
was
before
that
they
the
went back
same
to school.
girl? Was that the same girl who
I'm
looked
not
at the
going to answer
officer
that
and said,
because I'm not going to answer that right now. I don't quite know.
what?
There
Oh,
was somebody
in any case, the story that he said, I don't know whether it's the same girl or not. I don't know. But what broke my heart is when they said that there was the mother that willfully gave her children up and said, put a fucking boa on her next time. And then the little girl that went to the police officer,
the feather boa.
The feather boa. And then the little girl who there was an officer there clearly in uniform, or maybe she knew him as a police officer, and looked at him and said, they're hurting me. And they laughed at her.
Yeah.
They laughed.
The main guy that was running the place and the cop, correct?
Yeah.
They chuckled at each other when she said, yeah.
There's a special place in hell for people like them.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let me keep going.
And that is what we think happened in the JonBenet case back then. There was a culture. As an old saying, if you subsidize a problem, you get more of it. When you plea bargain like that, you create a culture. Pedophiles communicate with each other. Imagine, it's like Slusher. We talked about him in the beginning. He was an absolute monster at 24. When you give a pedophile like that a slap on the wrist, you know what he did when he got out of jail? He became a child pornographer. Yep. That's what happens. You want to give out light sentences? Pedophiles are going to think this is the greatest town known to man. Hey, we can do what we want here. And if we do get caught, nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we get, a small jail sentence. Heck, maybe we don't get any jail, like Jerry Berry. Or maybe, if that's the what was going on. The question for 26 years, people have been asking, who? Where's it got you?
One of the poems references recidivism. And, as somebody who studies crime and crime statistics, I can tell you this, that a level 3 child sex offender has the highest recidivism rates out of any other type of criminal. And here they're giving them a slap on the wrist.
And in some cases, nothing. And in other cases, according to people, there was no prosecution at all. Look at the individual of the church. Alleging happened at the church, what the tip line caller alleges, it's all allegations. And if they're all true, you emboldened, you gave this individual, the church gave this individual $300,000.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to him. He woke, what a pedophile can do with a boatload of cash? Damage. And then what? Did they even think that they were unleashing somebody? That really drives me up a wall. That person left the church with a whole lot of money. He's been doing this stuff to young kids, allegedly, since he was 16. Started with his sister. And you just let him skate to another community? No heads up for them that wherever he landed, that this community has a monster coming their way? I don't even want to think if anybody else was harmed. Because if that's the case, cops need to lose their jobs, their pensions, anybody involved with what happened at that church.
Amen. They passed the problem. And Nikki, weren't we talking the last time we were up here about how a child predator like that often has upwards of 250 victims in their lifetime?
I forget what Frank said, but it was atrocious. Like the numbers.
It was atrocious.
Like it was like when you hear it was like 200 and something like in their lifetime, like victims. Like it was like like that's like a lot of kids.
That's a lot of
victims.
Kids. And
like if you think about how big, and that they just get away with
each person
until they don't, and that's a scary shit right there.
Right. 250 people, and this is another thing too. People who like they're talking about the corn, right? I swear on here and I say all the things like that. I don't get the porn, right?
We're professionals.
Yeah, we're professionals. This I have it on the bottom. This show is not for kids, not for kids. Wait, for males, it's over 280 kids if never caught and allowed to continue.
Thank you, Frank.
What in the act? Thank you, Frank. You're the best. Here's
He's busy right now, so I'm glad he's listening.
Leave a sex offender on this. Wait, here's interesting. You can't see a level 1 sex offender on the sex offender registry online. Really? That's scary. I've looked because I have like a small, like your mom, you look to see like who's around you. And
Correct,
like I live in a one of those neighborhoods that
But like,
not much
just
goes
look at
on.
that, Ames. Over 280 if never caught and allowed to continue.
Yeah.
That's crazy numbers.
That's per predator. And this is another thing too.
Correct.
Like if you're looking at child abuse material, you are another offender of that child. Even if you're just consuming the content, you are re-victimizing the person. So if you're out there, and even though you're not touching kids, yourself, maybe. I mean, I don't believe that for a fact. People like, oh, but there's like pedophiles that never touch. I don't believe that, because you're part of the problem when you consume the content. That is you are violating that child by even viewing
Correct
the CP.
Yeah. You just appear at the end of the day, you have that sick mind.
Yeah.
You just not there's no gray area. There's no like if you mentally you're there and you like you're just that's it. Put a bullet.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right.
You're part of the problem.
Fucking sign them up.
If you don't ever, you're enabling the process and the procedure
You're
of
feeding it.
Child. Yeah, exactly.
I watched the show. Have you ever seen Poaching Predators or whatever? And they lure people and everything like that. Like
To Catch a Predator.
That's scary. To Catch a Predator. Well, there's that with Scott, with the Henson guy, Chris Henson.
Yeah.
But there's
Chris Hansen,
there's predator poachers or something. I don't know if they got taken down. I used to watch them because they would entice people with like 11-year-old girl or boy, and they'd show up. And like some of these people, you would never, like if you were in line at 7-Eleven, you would never look at the guy and be like, oh my God, you're one of them. They look like regular old people.
That's the thing, is like you don't until you like listen to like, especially like what Frank just said about the number, like you think about it all the time, but you don't realize like it could be anybody.
Anybody.
Anybody. You know, and that's why I think like a lot of times it's the churches are involved, because you know people go to church to repent, but there's no repenting from being a SAer. None.
Yeah.
Like you are just
and it's
that
the
person.
least
There's no
prosecuted
cure.
crime.
There's no Jesus. There's no pill. There's no cure for it. Jesus is not going to do it.
No
offense.
It's like those religions who make you go pray to get the gayness out of you. Don't work. They're born that way. People can like whoever the fuck. But there's literally religions where you have to go to like some ranch and try to get ungayed. Like what?
I'm not gay. I'm not gays no more.
Look at the Ducker brother. Did he was there was 19 kids and he was getting all of his sisters. Nothing happened to him. Not a thing. He went and repented somewhere and came back and kept doing it. And then he had his own kids and his own wife and kept doing it because it's a fucking sickness. It's like anyone who, it's like bipolar. Can't help being bipolar.
Sadly, it's just a fire that can't get put out. Sadly.
Amen. Well said. Well said. All right. We got a little bit more of this and then we can skedaddle. I love that you're up here with me. Thank you for being here, Nikki.
I'm trying to help. I know Frank's busy, so
you're the best. You're the best.
I love you.
If the allegations are correct, they need to be fired or have their pensions taken away. Examples must be made. People in the church, if they're still there that are in leadership, need to be removed, sued, whatever. It's
and there were different important perspectives about this case and aspects that we never even incredible month here in the garage. I'm so excited that we were able to bring all of this information to you. I know it's a lot and it's coming at you from a lot of different directions, but when we covered this case a few years back with our 6-part series, JonBenet, we realized that there was so much more to this case, and that it was through the success of those episodes and the show's popularity that we were able to speak with some of the individuals that you heard this month in the garage. We spoke with John Wesley Anderson, who worked with Lou Smith, who was one of the key players in this case, in JonBenet the Master Detective, parts 1 and 2. We did a further deep dive on Gary Oliva and some of the other suspects and persons who had claimed to have been there when JonBenet passed, or may even have been responsible for her murder in JonBenet I Killed Her, parts 1 and 2. And we recently spoke with Stephen and Joyce Singular for our interview that we titled JonBenet Presumed Guilty. We recommend that you check out John Wesley Anderson's book, Lou and JonBenet, and the Singular's book, Presumed Guilty. We want to thank everybody for joining us this month here in the garage and all year long. And we will have our 6-part series on JonBenet Ramsey released Christmas week. Don't forget, we have our other show, Off the Record, that you can subscribe to on Apple subscription, or you can subscribe via Patreon. And for those of you new to Off the Record, we have several JonBenet Ramsey episodes, one in particular that you're going to want to go back and check out from May 14th, when we speak with one of the officers that worked for Boulder Police Department. We will be back to our regular scheduled programming in 2020.
All right, guys. Oh man.
Yeah,
So
that
next
series
week
is done.
I don't know if you're going to be busy. That series is done. Thank you, Frank and Jim Zell. You guys are amazing. Please keep doing what you're doing. The world needs more of you. I told him that too. I'm like, you're just a good person, and it needs to be more of you.
Yeah.
He's in it for the right reasons, and you can tell.
Mhm.
You can always tell like authentic versus non-authentic, and you can tell he's in it for the right reasons. Next week we will go over their interview with Everyday with Jay, and that is fascinating. You're not going to want to miss it. Full Fat Frank. Is there any kind of place where guys like you hang out and look at cases to play with? I know guys who needs investigating. He's on multiple charges of child. Oh no. Oh my God. I mean, I know he's like balls deep in the JonBenet thing, but like, can you
Frank's
send me
super busy with
yeah
stuff going on, but yeah, we gotta look into that, Amy.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Listen, I'm all about exposing predators. If you guys want to send us anything, me and Nikki, everybody can look into it. It's unsolvedamyboston@gmail.com, and I would love to expose this motherfucker. Please say less. Yeah, so again, next week we'll go over the interview with Everyday with Jay. Hopefully, Nikki, if you're available, you can come up and chit chat about it.
Yeah, I'll come up.
Really good, really good interview. Later on, I might do some hidden true crime updates just because they are revolting. And I don't like anybody who pretends to be a victim advocate and expose and exploits people and at their most vulnerable times in life. And I used to love Dr. John, and I don't anymore because now I see him for who he is, and he too deserves to be exposed. And I hope victims find this video when they reach out and do not give them any attention or any information because they are exploiting people at their worst times in life. I don't like that. They don't have pure intentions. So I might go over that later. Yeah. So, all right, guys, it has been 2 hours, and Kung Fu Panda, I think, has had enough. So, you hear him in the background, Mom. Yeah. So I will see you guys later on for some sass talk about hidden true crime. And thank you again. Go subscribe over to True Crime Garage TV and give the videos that we have reviewed a like and subscribe. So
yep, and also to look up the Zell brothers. I know that they're on Twitter. Or Frank is. Hold on, let me see. Frank Zell, because he posts a lot of good stuff. Hold on.
Really good stuff.
His is at Frank Z2137. Go follow him on.
Hold on. Let me go. It's at Frank Z. What's
at
the numbers?
Frank Z 2137.
2137. Perfect.
Yep.
I put his handle in the chat for you guys to go over and what do they call it over on the twat? Subscribe.
Follow.
Sub to him. Go over there and follow him. Yeah.
Go follow on X.
So Calypso's gonna try to find a link. Thank you, baby. And don't forget, yes, thank you. If you guys could subscribe to my channel, our channel, it's just we do unsolved cases. exploiters and all the things. So if you guys have any information or want us to cover a topic, you can email us at unsolvedamyboston@gmail.com. Otherwise, I will see you later on today or next Sunday, where we will continue part 7 of the unsolved case of JonBenet Ramsey. Thank you guys.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
again.
Love you, Ames.
Bye.